Good morning students. Now I shall be discussing about the remaining portion of the Java GUI components. In this presentation, I shall be discussing about the classes that represents each of the controls in the NetBeans window. Let's first start with the JFrame class. The JFrame class represents the frame control. So the frame is one of the most important and top level component of a graphical user interface. The instance or the object of the JFrame class represents a rectangular box with minimize, maximize and close button on the screen. We call that rectangular box as the frame control. And all other components can be embedded onto this rectangular like box control, which is the frame control. So the frame control acts as a container control. Now if you see this figure, it consists of a rectangular shaped box like control which is colored gray. Okay, and we call this rectangular shaped box like control which is colored gray as the frame control. And this frame control acts as a container control for three different controls. Okay, so at first it acts as a container control for this label control, okay, with the text color. Then it acts as a container for this combo box control with the displayed text red. Then again it acts as a container control for this text area control which is shaded white. Now whenever we create an instance or an object of a JFrame class, the instance will have a name. So this particular frame control, which is an instance of the JFrame class, will also have a name. So we can create an object or an instance of a JFrame class and specify a name into it. Now this particular statement creates an object or an instance of the JFrame class, and the name of that instance is F. Okay, and we specify it like this. At first we write the name of the class which is JFrame, and in order to create an object of this JFrame class, okay, I specify the name of the object which in this case is F. Okay, so here F represents the object or the instance of the JFrame class. And then we shall put the assignment operator, okay, which is equal to, in this case, followed by the new keyword. This new keyword shall allocate some memory when this object F gets created. Okay, so this new keyword allocates some memory to this object represented by the name F. And after the new keyword, we shall again write the name of the class, which in this case is JFrame, followed by semicolon. So this statement JFrame F equal to new JFrame followed by a semicolon creates an object F of the class called JFrame. Okay, so here F being the object or the instance of the JFrame class represents the frame control. Now in this case, this frame control is an object or an instance of the JFrame class, and the name of this frame control is shown in the properties window. So this is the properties window of this frame control. Okay, and we can scroll down to check the name of this frame control. So here it is. The name of our frame control is frame1. Now I can change the name of this frame control to F. Okay, so if I do this, the name of this frame control shall become F. So here it is. This is F, and it represents an instance or an object of the JFrame class. Now this chart listed here will show the properties of the JFrame class. The first property of the JFrame class is the SetDefaultClose method. This method defines the operations to be performed when a frame is closed. The possible values for this method are ExitOnClose, hide, do nothing, or dispose. This method shall be called using this object of the JFrame class, and since the object name is f, so with the help of this object name or the instant name f, I can call this method SetDefaultClose using the dot operator like this. Okay, so it is represented as f.SetDefaultClose. Then inside this method it is taking an argument which is inside the package javax.swing.windowConstants. Okay, and that argument is ExitOnClose. Okay, now this is one of the arguments out of ExitOnClose, hide, do nothing, and dispose. So here ExitOnClose is the first argument as listed here. So with the method SetDefaultClose with ExitOnClose as the argument, the frame which is currently running shall exit on clicking the close button. Say for example, for this particular frame, okay, if I choose the default close operation in the properties window as ExitOnClose like this, then if I run this program, now look at this. This is the frame control. Okay, now if I click this close button from here, it closes the form. Okay, now in case if I choose the argument as do nothing instead of ExitOnClose, then see what happens. Now for this frame control, if I choose the default close operation in the properties window as do nothing and then click on this run button, now see, this is the frame control. Okay, now if I click on this close button, see, the form does not get closed. Okay, because I have chosen the argument as do nothing, and which does nothing on clicking this close button. Now see what happens if I put the argument as hide. If that is the case, for this frame control, I have to put the argument default close operation as hide instead of ExitOnClose here, on choosing hide as the argument. And now if I run this window, okay, now let me click on this close button. See, now the frame does not get closed, it is still running in the background. Okay, why we are not able to view the frame control is that we have chosen the argument as hidden. Okay, so now this frame control gets hidden from our sight. Again, if I choose the argument as dispose, then see what happens. Now again, for this frame control, I choose the default close operation in this properties window as dispose, and on doing this and clicking the run button, okay, so this shows the frame control. Now if I click on this close button, okay, the form gets disposed. Okay, disposed means the form gets destroyed completely. Now by default, the argument for this method SetDefaultClose is ExitOnClose. That's why whenever you choose the frame control and view its properties section, you can see that under the default close operation, the argument is ExitOnClose. So by default, whenever you click the close button of the frame control, the frame control shall exit. Then let's come to the next method, which is SetAlwaysOnTop. This method takes one parameter as boolean and makes the frame as topmost frame of the application. Okay, now the boolean can take only one of the two values, which is true or false. Okay, if the boolean value is true, then the particular frame shall be made the topmost frame of the application. Okay, and we represent it like this. Since f is the object or the instance name here, so with the help of this instance or the object name f, we call the method SetAlwaysOnTop with true as an argument or a parameter. Now if you look at this particular frame with color as the control, okay, this color control is the label control here. For this particular frame control, in the properties section, the always on top has been ticked. So in case if another frame is running at the same time along with this frame, then that particular frame shall be behind this frame, and this particular frame will always be at the top, and that is represented here with this tick symbol under the properties always on top. Now consider this particular frame, okay, showing the title label, the name label, okay. So this particular frame, okay, has the properties which always on top unticked. Now since always on top is unticked for this particular frame with title and name as the labels, so this particular frame shall be behind this particular frame, okay, when both these frames run at the same time. So now let's check it out. Let me first run this particular frame, okay, which shall always be on top. Now we have run this particular frame. Now since this is the only frame running, so it will always be at the top, okay. Now let me run another form, okay. Now let me run this particular form with label as title and name. Now see, this particular frame, okay, although it was executed after this particular frame, okay, still this particular frame appears behind this particular frame, okay. This is because for this particular frame the properties set always on top is true, as indicated by the tick symbol in the properties window. But for this particular form, the property set always on top is false, okay, because for this particular frame the set always on top option has been unticked, and that's why you can see this frame appears at the top of this frame. Then the next method is the set background. You can set the background color of the frame, okay, by using the instance or the object f that you have just created, okay, and then use the dot operator to call this method set background, okay. Then within the parenthesis you put java.awt.color dot, you choose whatever color you wish to specify as the background color for that frame, okay. Here since the color specified is gray, so the background color of the frame shall be gray. Now you can see here the background color of this frame is gray. Now gray here is the element of the package known as java.awt.color, okay, where AWT is the package of the application window toolkit. So each of these color elements lies in the package of the application window toolkit. In the same way, you can also specify the foreground color of the frame, okay, and for that you have to call this method which is set foreground, okay. So using the object f, you call like this f.setForeground and take the argument as java.awt.color, okay, which is the package name, and then call the element of this package which is the color red using .red like this. Then see the next method which is set title. This method is used to set the title for the title bar of the frame. Now it takes one parameter of type string. Now see how this is done. You have to take the object f and then call the method setTitle, okay, and within bracket put the text to be displayed, okay, on the title bar of the frame. In this case the text is "It's good to learn swing." Okay, now let's check it out. Now see, if you run this form, okay, this is the title bar of this frame. Now in the title bar there is no caption. Okay, now if you wish to put the caption in this title bar, okay, you have to make use of the setTitle method. Now let me show you. Okay, now let me select this frame and then come over to this properties window. Okay, now this is the title of the properties window. Now in the title, okay, if I choose the text, say "It's good to learn swing," okay, say in the title I wish to put this text "It's good to learn swing." Okay, then in that case I shall paste it out here. Let me click this box. Okay, now I shall paste it out here. So here it is. This is the text. "It's good to learn swing." Okay, now once I paste the text here, I shall click on this OK button. Now let me run this frame again. Now see, you can see this text as the caption, which is "It's good to learn swing." Okay, and this is how the caption appears. Now let's come to the next method, which is SetEnable. Okay, using this method you can activate or deactivate the frame. Okay, when you deactivate the frame, you can't perform any operation within the frame. Okay, and the activation or the deactivation shall be done with the help of a Boolean value. Okay, if you wish to activate the frame, use the object f and call the SetEnable method and take the argument as true. True shall activate the frame. Okay, and if you put the argument as false, the frame shall be deactivated. Now here true and false are the Boolean values. So let's check it out. Now if we take the case of this frame, okay, let me run it. Now see, inside this frame these are the controls. Okay, first is the label color, then the combo box control, okay, where the set of values that you wish to select is listed here. Now let me select the value green from here. Okay, so the combo box displays the option green. Now just come below, this is the text area control. Okay, whatever I type inside this text area control appears green, but I am able to type inside this text area control, right? And again I can in fact choose the options out of this possible set of options from this combo box like this. Okay, so whatever color I select, the text inside this text area control sets to that desired color. But all these changes that we are able to perform is only because this frame control has been enabled. Okay, now see, in case if I disable the frame control, I won't be able to do these operations, that is changing the color of this text inside this text area control. So let's check it out that. Now see, again for this frame control, let me come over here to this properties window. Now I shall check the property called enabled. So this is the enable property. Okay, by default it is ticked. Okay, since it is ticked by default, I can perform any operation for the controls inside this frame. Okay, now in case if I untick this enable option, okay, so now this frame gets disabled, and since this frame gets disabled, I cannot perform any operation inside the frame. As a result, for each of these controls inside this frame, that is the label control, color, the combo box control with the selected text red, the text area control, I cannot perform any operations for these controls as they are inside the frame, which is disabled. Now if I run this window, now see, on running it shows the frame control again with these embedded controls, but now I can't type any text onto this text area control, neither can I select any option, okay, or change the option out of this combo box. This is because I have disabled this frame control. So I guess you understood the SetEnable option. Now let's move to the next method known as the setVisible method. Now using this method you can make the frame visible or invisible, okay, and the statement to do that is f.setVisible and the boolean value true for making the frame as visible. Now if you put the boolean value as false, okay, that will make the frame invisible. Okay, so that's all about this JFrame class and the frame control.